Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. But it's the afternoon right now. It's around 12 p.m. And as I said yesterday, it's actually snowing right now, but it's not too snowy. It's just like drizzling. So I don't know if you can see, but this that very small snow dropping around. Um, so not too much. I cannot see my camera because my camera is very small, but you can see from your own screen. Anyway, today I'm back. Today is March 2nd. We are marking the first week of the third month of the year, which is March. And it's the March 2nd as we kick off this year, right? It's already the first quarter. I promised to make it to, I promised to start counting the year to see it as a quarter. Okay, so the quarter will be 3 months, 3 months, 3 months in an increment. Is it a quarter or is it a, what is it? Let me look it up because this is very interesting. I think this is the best thing to do. Is 3 months quarter, because in the financial industry they report based on 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. So I took accounting, but I forgot. So yes, a quarter is a 3 month, and there are 4 quarters in a year, typically referred to Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, so this is we are marking the first Q1, and this Q1. So the Q1 goes from. This is very interesting, actually. The Q1 goes from January 1st to March 31st. Why am I forgetting accounting? This is why I took accounting and finance in my community college, and I just forgot everything. I don't remember a single thing. Yeah, but for the first quarter is January 1st to March 31st. The second quarter is April 1st to June 30th. The third quarter is July 1st and September 30th. And the fourth quarter is from October 1st to December 31st. I need to have this in my calendar, because if you get a job, you have to report. Everybody in the company has to report you have to submit if you spend some money, if you get paid, or especially if you work for high-paying jobs and you spend some money buying something, books, computer, travel expenses. You have to report within 30 quarters so they can submit the report to the IRS. So it's pretty simple stuff, right? Like, anyway, so this is the first the month of the last quarter of the first quarter of the year, or the Q1. That being said, this month I need to make sure that everything is done by the end of this month. So finish the research paper, finish all the homeworks, the quizzes, wrap up the job applications and internships for this year or next year. Do my taxes because due April. What is financial aid for my school? I need to get other things done by this quarter so that I can start a new quarter next month. Pretty interesting. Yeah, I think it makes much more sense when you do this way. Anyways, I'm coming here to give an update on the Iran and the U.S. war. I knew that I knew that the bombing Iran was going to be very what about my voice? It was going to be a very it was necessary. It was needed. Both the Democrats and the Republicans agree that there needs to be a change in Iran. but it was going to be very costly. And for years there's been negotiations over and the more money is being spent on the negotiations, and nothing gets done. So as Ayatollah is dead, they appointed a new leader who also was killed as soon as within 24 hours. Dang it. What's wrong with my voice? It was my water bottle. So US is still planning on whom they are going to appoint, but the war has now spread because the Islamic regime, which is the majority of they are the majority in Iran, they have now expanded the war across Middle East, and now is becoming a full wage war with the US, the United States aircraft flying across Middle East. Many people are stuck in there, right? I have friends over there. I don't have family, but I have friends who lives there who are stuck. All of my friends are in Dubai. Dubai is safe, but areas like Qatar, Beirut, Saudi Arabia, they are all at very high risk of nuclear fallout. Israel are very high risky. I saw an article that says Israel has send their diplomats or the government officials to Germany for their safety, because any moment we could see the capital city of Israel turning into a full-rage war. So then that's the effects of Middle East right now. Things are getting really tough. On the other side, in the United States, the stocks has dropped dramatically. The oil prices have gone up. Of course, it's gonna go up, but also we're gonna see more prices going up, especially with tariffs. We're gonna see more prices going up with the AI disruptions. We're having the highest unemployment rate. Things are gonna get really tough in the United States, and unless the war stops. This is because previously China was supplying us with cheap goods, and then Trump passed the tariffs. China was, was trying to negotiate what the prices. So the main variable was only the prices, or the tariffs, which is the taxes for goods from China and over the world, and also the AI influences. But now we have a different, unpredictable variable, which is the war. China buys goods from Middle East. There's a lot of oil coming from the north, from the east part of the Middle East, which has the high supply of oil for cheaper price, of course, to China. But the sea where the ships pass through, Iran controls that sea, and they've been controlling it for a long time. And this is also part of the reason why United States is fighting against Iran. US has no interest in fighting these countries. Of course, they say that it's for the Iranian people, but for the most part, it's because of the oil, right? So the oil, Iran has been using that area as a strategic, mission to stop oil supply, both China and that China produces goods at cheaper prices, which is US buys goods from China. So there's an interconnected trade in that area. It's the same thing as Venezuela. Venezuela has been there because of the oil. So Iran is facing the same problem right now. And also because, the reason why Iran is attacking these countries in the Middle East they're all Muslim, so there's no religious behind it. It has to do with trade. these countries, they support the United States. The United States gives them security. They also buy their oil. It just gives them all the access they need. Iran, however, when Iran controls the sea, it makes it harder for these countries to do the trade, with Russia, with China and India and other countries. So, because of that, countries like Africa is going to be really affected. So that's China, because China supplies to Africa. So you're going to see the prices in Africa going up. In fact, Chinese oil prices have already gone up, like $100 per barrel, right? That's a lot of money. So you're gonna see the prices going way up. They are going to be hitting really hard. That Trump already cut the fundings for them, and there's gonna be even more. There's war in Ukraine which already devastated the supply of wheat. So you're going to see really a huge problem in Africa. Not only that, but also African countries are facing, I mentioned this yesterday in my videos, African countries are facing now the terrorism rise, right? There is this Shia Muslim supporter who are dominating, who are terrorizing Nigeria and terrorizing many parts of Africa. Now they are protesting, they are uprising, they are going to be causing a lot of harm to the African countries. And these countries that are already, having a very unstable democracy. For instance, Uganda has an unstable democracy, so does Congo, so does Kenya, right? This unstable democracy makes them become vulnerable to these Shia Muslims, okay? As United States bombs these countries in the Middle East, there could be a growing anger in the Middle East spreading across Africa. Domestic wise in the United States, if Trump has predicted this war to last between 3 to 4 weeks, but Trump is just Trump. He doesn't know much. It could take longer than that, right? Because they can't just bomb the country, kill the leader, and just leave. They have to stay for years. In fact, this war might even drag on to the next couple of years or so. Depends on how the neighboring countries react, and depends on how the Iranian in the country react. Okay, it all comes down to how they react on both sides. But as this war drags on for so long, we could also see in the country here, we could see protests. Many people who are anti-Trump, they are already protesting against the war. They don't want the war, not because they don't want the war, but they don't want Trump. If the war was funded by a different political party, there will be no protest, right? So if that happens, we could see a huge unrest like 1960s, where we see the civil rights movements blending in, the war in Vietnam, creating some kind of like confusion. Then there's a huge unrest in the country. We could see that, and if that happens, then we could see Trump staying in power even more longer to end the war, right? Because Congress is already unbalanced. We could also see November, people could vote people could vote, majority Democrats who can come in and impeach Trump, right? Either way, that's unlikely because so far it's been 1 year and a half, 1 year and 3 months since Trump has been in power, and in this and only that time, just period, Trump has already arrested Maduro's president, killed a gangster a drug dealer in Mexico, and also now is killing a lot of generals and leaders in Iran. So there is more going to happen. He has done so much, which means he actually has more credit in what people now who doubted him, they now respect him more than ever, right? Because he looks like a jackass, like a joking guy, but sometimes he does a lot of things that should be taken for granted, right? At the end of the day, he's a president, right? And this thing that he has done, Americans agree with them 100%. Okay, they agree that Venezuela was struggling because of the crisis, right? So does Iran, oppressing women and causing a lot of chaos, which many Democrats agree with, because Democrats are very pro women's rights. So they like the idea of killing that guy. So does drug dealers that has devastated American cities with drug addictions, right? So all of these things do actually make Trump look legit, even though the financial cost side is still prevail. There is still lack of accountability on corporations that refuse to hire American people, deploys AI. Amazon is already refusing to use technology. Amazon has already, I received news yesterday that Amazon has scrapped or stopped using automated machines like robotics. They still use some of them, but the fully automated robotics have been eliminated because they are inefficient. They cannot work as good as humans can do, basically in a warehouse, and they're very expensive to maintain. So that being said, our machines are not going to be good. But speaking of AI, this is still like there's still no jobs. Even though I try to look for jobs and post, there is still no jobs. No matter if you're experienced or unexperienced or entry level, still zero openings. Zero openings. And I'm not making this up. Even those who are hiring, they're thinking about the budget versus the AI, right? So this can be fixed by the U.S. government stepping up and trying to ensure that companies are hiring people. Otherwise, this is going to devastate the economy. Other than that, other news that the United States lost 3 jets that were shot by Kuwaiti in the Middle East. They mistakenly thought they were, the enemy jets, but they were actually American. Everybody survived. No pilot died. On top of that, United States also lost 3 soldiers. They called them servicemen who died in the Middle East in this operation. Each operation has a lot of consequences. Under Trump's State of the Union, which I'll talk about later, they lost 3 servicemen. One person was injured in Venezuela. Trump gave him a gold medal. But now in these operations in the Middle East, in Iran, 2 people has already died. Okay, so this is not going to be easy. There's going to Trump said there's going to be more people dying over there. It keeps telling us how economy, wars, and just conflict in general can bring a lot of consequences and changes and unpredictable things. It's fascinating, right? It's pretty fascinating. So that being said, I just wanted to come here and give an update on what's going on, and these videos are going to be uploaded as soon as possible before any news, anything changes, because there's something changing every single time. There's something new right now in the Middle East. Middle East continues to be a problem to the world, as the continent, the area, it's not a continent, it's the area that wants to impose like a very strong Islamic beliefs, which includes killing somebody even if that person has a different viewpoints. I've seen the Ira Omar, the lady from Minnesota. She said that Trump is attacking the Middle East because it's Ramadan. I don't understand why these people protect this kind of beliefs. Even she's a Muslim too. Like, she wouldn't survive over there. She would not. Alright? And she understands this. So, if she was to say the same that she's saying right now in the United States, she will be dead. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't be complaining about these things, but sometimes you just gotta say something positive. Maybe say something like, don't fight this war, seek negotiations. So do that. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Like always, Ciao ciao, take care, adios, spasiba, and bye bye. See you tomorrow.